Good evening everybody and welcome to RGL Xbox Season 4 here for Round 6 from Japan at the Suzuka International Circuit. We are here for another enthralling event for RGL's Season 4 Championship. And yeah, I'm Ollie44 Smithson, commentating for you today on my own. As well, I'm a bit lonely today actually. So if you want to have some conversations in the chat throughout the race, then that'd be absolutely marvellous. Well, the championship's starting to look quite interesting actually. We've got BMG Hawks leading the way in first place on 95 points, ahead of VSR All-Rounder on 82. Rosberg on 71 and KJ Gamer back down on 39. The top three really starting to pull away from everybody here. And well, the second place man, VSR All-Rounder, currently in second place in qualifying here, and his championship rival in first place as well. So we've got a 1-2 for the top two in the championship right now, and it's certainly starting to heat up with only a couple of races left to go. Obviously, I'm pretty sure this is a 10-race calendar, so yeah, not many races to claw some points back. We've got a couple of new drivers racing tonight. Obviously, for those that don't know, just send it is GS1 Ninja if you haven't been paying attention. So far this season, we've got MRL Cineflow as well. And well, Shadow's just changed his name from Tech 10 to Shizu, and that's about it for the driver lineup for so far. Well, if we look at the Constructors Championship actually, BMG Hawks and just send it on 107 points ahead of All-Rounder and Adam Lee in the Racing Point. 82 points as opposed to Haas's 107 there. Toro Rosso back there on 72 along with Renault as well, tied for points. Alfa Romeo 38 with Red Bull as well. 31 for Williams, 16 for McLaren and 14 for Mercedes and Ferrari. I'm going to skip on board with BMG JJ Rocks then, as he's just well, halfway through a lap here. Is entering a sort of off-camber hairpin there. It's quite difficult to get right and to not lock up into that corner actually. It will prove tricky in the race for sure. When your tyres are starting to go off and well, you haven't got as much grip as you perhaps once had. We're coming through. Oh dear, he's invalidated his lap time there. That's not good for the Alfa Romeo there. As well, there's only 8 minutes left in the session. About halfway through now, and well, it's starting to really hot up. And well, JJ hasn't got a lap on the board at the moment. Shizu Ewan, sorry, the purple middle sector, he's just coming through 130R on the run down to the Casio Triangle. He's going to hit that first apex there, not cut that second apex. That is something that the drivers have been talking about in the Discord chat. And if you do it, well, if you cut the inside of the second apex of that Casio Triangle chicane, you will receive a 3-second penalty by the stewards if you are caught. That can go up to the value of 12 seconds. So it can play a huge factor towards the end of the race when everything starts to get a little bit more tense and a little bit more interesting. Shizu Ewan now just going up into first place in the leaderboards. Very nice lap time from him. Not breaking into the 26s just yet, but I'm sure BMG JJ Rocks will have something to say about that. Langman has just completed a lap with the purple final sector actually, and well, there isn't. Well, there are quite a few drivers on laps at the moment. One of them is being VSR All-Rounder, so we're going to ride on board with a lap with him here. Heading through turns 1 and 2, very fast, couple of corners there, short shooting up into 5th gear as he runs through turns 3, 4 and now 5, a very tricky well, opening sequence of corners. Turn 6 now as he turns in for 4th gear, looking for that marker on the track. There we go, as he turns in for turn 7, round the Dunlop curve, heading for Degner's 1 and 2, turns 8 and 9 here, turn 10, the little kink on this straight just further down there. You can see under the F1 2019 board, sweeps right into this hairpin of turn 11. Exiting now, and a bit of a curve straight before we've got the spoon corner. So this is turn 11, and now turn 12 here as heading down into smooth curve, which is 13 and 14, a sort of double apex left-hander as he exits onto the straight and on the run down to 130R. It's been a good lap from the German so far, as he's looking to challenge for pole position in this session. It's a purple middle sector, I do believe that was, and he's only got just under 1.5 tenths to improve on his time if he wants to jump up to that top spot. A bit of a double take at the apex of the first apex of that chicane, but it comes across the line anyway. It's going to be P2, 15 thousandths of a second off pole position, and the top four separated by 1/10 of a second. It's all looking very close at the minute. JJ Rock's just on the lap there as he's letting, I believe that was a Mercedes through. I'm not quite sure. I didn't manage to catch that. In fact, yeah, it was MRL Cineflow, who is just going to come across the line now. Will he jump up a couple of positions? Yes, he will. P12 for him. So people have started to get their lap times in so far, and well, yeah, it's all calming down a bit for the later end of the session. I say calming down. MRL Cineflow has had a bit of a spin there. It's going to, well, planted the throttle there to get out of the way of JJ Rocks. And, well, talking of JJ Rocks, I'll leave you to ride on board with him for the remainder of the lap without me commentating and without any of these graphics on the screen. There you go then, BMG JJ Rocks slotting up into 9th place there. Very nice lap time from him so far. I believe that's LCR, no it's not, it's Shizuku Crescito, who is just starting a lap, and I believe he's going to be one of the only people that is currently on a fast lap time. As LCR Benny's got his ERS turned down, and then the only person behind him, I thought he's actually LCR Mulder, who is actually on the lap. He's 2/10 up currently. I assume that he's on his personal best. I'm just about to get a track map up so I can go into some extra detail on these corner names for you. Entering 16, 17, now the Casio Triangle that I do know. Exits now, turn 18 to go. Exits the final corner onto the straight, opens the DRS now, comes across the line. P7 for Mulder, for the German driver, and well, certainly not a bad lap time at all from him, and well, he's definitely going to be pleased with that, as I think the next person to come across the line is actually going to be Shizuku Crescito. Riding on board with him then on the run down to 130R. Obviously going to take it flat out, as it's well, relentless for some good side-by-side racing. Actually, I've seen in the past. Bit of a slide through that chicane there, but he exits the final corner. Oh dear, that was a bit of a late dive into the pit lane. He's got 2 minutes left in the session, and I don't think he's going to be able to improve on his lap time there. And well, to me, that looks like it's going to be the end of the session for him. There isn't many other people on a lap time. In fact, LCR Mulder is the only one that's out and not in the pits and not on an out lap. That's Shizu Ewan. We're going to ride on board with him, and he's going to be the next person to set a lap time in this enthralling qualifying session. Obviously, Crescito has pit, but he obviously, well, but we know about the timing glitch on the timer in the top left. So he could well have enough time on his screen to get back out. It's just unfortunate that we don't have an accurate timer in the top left. I've no idea why it doesn't work properly, but It doesn't, and we're going to have to deal with it. Exiting turn 7 then is Shizu Yuan as he's on the run down towards turn 8 and 9. The two Degners, Degner 1 dealt with nicely. A double lock up into the second Degner there of turn 9 under the Fanatec board. VS Aurora getting out the way nicely. Turn 10 and into the hairpin of turn 11. Taking that apex nicely, short shifting into third gear, nicely on the throttle, mode 5 shortly though after the corner, moving down to mode 4 for some extra straight line speed, heading down then towards turns 13 and now turns 14 of the spoon curve, double apex left-hander as I previously said a couple of minutes ago, exiting onto the curved long back straight on the run down towards 130R, turn 15, and well, that 130R, that is actually the radius of the corner, 130 degrees, in case you didn't know there. 75 metre braking board, turning in nicely for turns 16 and 17. 18 now to go. Shizu Yuan is going to come across the line. It's going to be a 26.9 for him, and we're going to see where, well, he's soon been beaten there by VSR Antoine, as well, I think he's got all around to start in a lap behind him as well. So has Nomad, and I believe that is Langman, who's going to come across the line soon. Is KJ Gamer going to improve on his time? No, he doesn't, and well, I assume he's going to have another lap to improve on that. Langman jumps up into 6th. We've got a Renault in the background, that's Sierra Rosberg, who is just starting a lap. LCR Ben is starting a timed lap time as well, and so is BMG JJ Rocks. Mex Ashes though, he's going to come across the line and finish his lap time here, turning up the ARS nicely, coming across the line. Will he improve on his 16th place? He is going to, and it's 14th for him. MRL Cineflow, the next person to cross the line. Exiting the final corner now. Will he manage to jump up higher than 13th, get into the top 10? A nice starting position for the race. It's only going to be P12 for him, so not a fantastic qualifying session, but again, not too shabby at all, and I'm sure he'll be pleased with his performance. Just Send It is going to be the next person to cross the line, although his teammate ahead, BMG Hawks, he takes provisional pole position by 2 tenths of a second. Just Send It, not improving on his lap time there. There's Force India in the background just setting the time. There was a Williams as well, which was Shizu's Shadow. VS Aurora are going to be the next person to set a time in this session, followed by, I believe that's going to be BMG Nomad. Orange comes across the line. Can he challenge for pole position? No, he can't. He's 1.5 tenths back from BMG Hawks to VSR all-round, and Nomad can't get a lap time in either. Zero Rosberg, will he manage to get any further up than his 10th place currently? A bit of a slide on exit at turn 18. He's not going to come across the line and improve on his time because he doesn't want to start on those tyres. But Casito comes across the line. Will he manage to improve? No, he doesn't. JJ Rocks, the next person, the final person to set a time in this session, apart from if VSR Ewan manages to find some more time. He doesn't, and LCR Ben has backed off there. So that's the end of the session for qualifying there. And well, I'm going to get a drink because my throat's on fire, and I'll leave you with those qualifying results. Hello again everybody, welcome to the race for RGL Season 4 here from Japan. Apologies for that short break, as well, I really needed a drink to be able to survive this race session for you. As you can see, it's BMG Hawks on pole position ahead of VSR All-Rounder and VSR Antoine, Shizu Ewan and Shizu Shadow. So, ladies and gentlemen, who do you think is going to win this race? Answer in the chat, who do you want to win? Because I'm putting my money on Shizu Ewan making a comeback here. The lights are coming on now then. Revving up to 5 red lights for the Japanese Grand Prix. Lights out and away we go. It's a good start for BMG Hawks, but VSR All-Rounder is alongside him going into turn 1. Shizu Ewan in the background as well. Antoine looks to have a bit of this action as well as we're heading into the first couple of corners. BMG Hawks has been overtaken for the lead by VSR All-Rounder. Got the up the inside into turn 1. Ewan is on the back of him. He's going to try and get past in the first opening laps. He will hope so. Langman hanging onto the back of Shizu Crescito as well. He's not actually dropped a position there. LCR Mulder been the big winner out of this and actually gained 3 positions, but Shizu Shadow has dropped down into P19. Apologies for those slight technical difficulties there, everybody. You haven't missed much, don't you worry. OBS just having a little bit of an issue there, but I'm sure everything will be fine for the remainder of the race. All-Rounder setting the fastest lap there, obviously on the opening sequence of corners. Defending the inside line though, BMG Hawks trying to get past him. Will be hungry for another race win in this championship and be looking to extend his lead in this championship as well. Obviously he's got around a 10-point lead so far on All-Rounder, and he'll be looking to capitalise on any mistakes that the German might make in this race. Shizu Shadow making up a couple of places there after he dropped back a good few positions on that opening lap. He's 1 second behind KJ Gamer here, who's just tucked behind Cyril Rosberg. We've seen this a couple of times this season, where KJ's been behind the Renault driver, and well, we're looking forward to another enthralling battle between the pair of them. KJ's teammate Langman on the back of Crescito as they exit down to turn 12 and the spoon curve of turns 13 and 14. Langman with a bit of understeer there, as compared to Shizu Crescito, who's running wide a bit onto the AstroTurf, and that's allowed Crescito to bridge a little bit of a gap. Cyril Rosberg is on the back of Langman though. Will he try and make a move into 130R? Bit too far back for now, but he might try and launch one at the inside into the Casio Triangle. Thinks better of it, and well, obviously the drivers will have to be aware that the rules are going to be enforced about them cutting the corner and cutting that inside curb on the second apex of turn 17. Otherwise, they will be awarded a 3-second penalty by the stewards. That has been decided before the race, as Crescito going a little bit wide there. That might have opened the door for Langman potentially. And I think we've got a spin there in the background. That's Adam Lee, I think. But BMG JJ Rocks has an absolute shocker of a start on the opening couple of sequence of corners there. All the way down, and he's just entering the Casio Triangle now, actually. So not a great start for the Alfa Romeo, but I'm sure he'll manage to come back later on in the race with a safety car. He has actually spun, so we're going to see if he's crashed or not. He has actually, so he's going to have to be careful to not get disqualified. I don't actually know what he's doing because, well, he's not far off getting disqualified or losing a wheel from the barrier. He's going to come into the pits though, so all is good for him. Fresh front wing, and well, I have a feeling he might actually be overtaken and lapped by a couple of these drivers. Adam Lee had a bit of a nightmare. He's just stuck under the crossover bridge on the exit of turn 9 there. So the exit enters into the hairpin of turn 11, but back up to the front. We've got KJ Gamer and Cyril Rosberg going side by side nearly into the chicane. KJ braking on the grass. That's not what he wants to do. Well, that's allowed Cyril Rosberg to break away from him. The Renault on the Toro Rosso driver, or onto making a move. Sorry, BMG Hawks making a move for the lead of the race. Sorry, I didn't catch that. A couple of moves going on in the back of the field. A couple of moves going on left, right, and centre actually. As I think that was Antoine and Shizu Ewan having a bit of a battle as well. So Hawks has managed to regain the lead in this race, and well, will we see him start to pull away in this race? We'll have to wait and see, won't we? Answer in the chat. What do you think will happen? And oh, I think that's a spin for Mulder. I think that is. As just had a bit of an accident there. Well, Shizu Shadow, I think he might have pushed Langman a little bit wide there. As well, KJ trying to defend there and well, nearly overtaken the Rosberg for P6. So there's moves going over left, right, and centre here, and well, it's all starting to kick off in these opening few laps. Back up front then, we're on board with VSR All-Rounder and BOG Hawks, and potentially going for another battle into turn 1, as we've seen a couple of, well, just last lap, and on the opening lap as well, as All-Rounder managed to get past him. Will he manage to get past him once more? BMG Hawks doesn't defend the inside line, and well, I think he's playing this a bit sensible because they're overtaking each other on the DRS straight, and that is meaning that, well, Shizu Ewan, he wasn't being able to get much close to Hawks and All-Rounder, but he has now started to surge up to the back of the Haas driver and the Racing Point. Mex Ashes and Just Send It, I think, we're having a little bit of a scrap, so as KJ and Shizu Shadow getting very, very close indeed. So, well, this could definitely end in disaster. Two very well-known and aggressive drivers battling out in this race. And for those just tuning in, yes, it is me solo commentating for you today. Myself, Ollie Smithson. There's no Welty, there's no Diablo, and there's never been a Duke Master. Because he does not actually have the game, which is rather interesting and rather unfortunate. So I believe it's going to be me for a couple of races, and well, it's definitely going to bring for some interesting commentary. As Antoine just having a bit of a bump over the curbs there. Shizu Ewan starting to bridge a little bit of a gap to the Ferrari, and I'm not actually sure why Antoine is in the Ferrari, because I'm pretty sure he doesn't drive that car normally. But All-Rounder and Hawks probably going to have another bit of a scrap into turn 1 here. Hawks opening the DRS, so does Shizu Ewan. All-Rounder defending the inside line. Will he get the move done? Round the outside for BMG Hawks. That is spectacular from the young Haas driver, and well, amazing move for Hawks. And well, All-Rounder being gobbled up again, but obviously with these guys overtaken on the DRS straight, this is meaning that well, All-Rounder certainly isn't recharging his DRS as well as what he could be, but it's not allowing really Ewan to get in much with a mix, because obviously they both got DRS on each other. And by swapping and swapping and turning and taking turns with who goes up the inside into turn 1, it's very sensible because it's allowing Ewan to not really gain much on them at all. Excuse me. But we're gonna have to wait and see in this race how it pans out. whether my prediction of Ewan will win the race and will manage to get past the pairing of the two championship leaders and two championship contenders in first and second place. Shizu Shadow with a little bit of a mid-apex understeer there on KJ Gamer. He's starting to drift off the back of Cyril Rosberg slightly. He was 2 seconds behind was Rosberg on Crescito. He's managed to gain half a second back on the Red Bull. With Hawks setting the fastest lap there. And all-rounders actually coming to the pits. So lap 7 already, and we're starting to see drivers coming to the pits. So we're going to see what he's going to go on to, and it looks like it's a set of the medium compound tyres. So interesting for all-rounder, and well, that could be interesting towards the end of the race because, well, we're going to skip on board with the opening 3 drivers, and well, actually go back to Nomad as getting a bit close to Cineflow. But yeah, these top 3 drivers, depending on when they pit, Anton picking up a 3-second penalty, that's not what he wants. Obviously, they could potentially overcut, or you know, or all-rounder could potentially overcut them. You know, it could go either way. So we'll have to wait and see what happens there. But obviously, we know Hawks has got the pace. What has Ewan got the pace to actually stick with him? Because, well, it's definitely not looking like it at all. Because we've got a virtual safety car now, as that's JJ Rocks that's actually crashed into the pits there. And depending on how long this virtual safety car's out, this could play dividends for Hawks, Ewan and Antoine. Because if they can pit now, Allrounder's down in 13th. So Hawks going very slowly there, actually. But yeah, they could pit now and gain an absolute heap of time. Are they going to come into the pits? Yes, BMG Hawks does, Ewan does, Antoine does, Will Crescito as well. The safety car is still out, so they're gaining time, even though they are, you know, they're only in this opening sequence of the pit lane. It's mediums for Ewan, it's mediums for Hawks, it's mediums for Antoine as well. Shadow's gone onto the soft, so that's actually quite interesting. I don't think he'd be wanted to go for that strategy. All-rounds are getting past Ben, though. Well, you can see there, all-round has been jumped by Shizu, Ewan, Antoine, and Hawks, and well, Shizu Ewan managed to jump Hawks in the pits, and that has meant that McLaren is. I didn't actually see that, so apologies. That has meant that Ewan is now in the net lead of this race. Shizu Ewan then, up the inside of the house of Just Send It, looking to get past as soon as possible. Obviously, Send It doesn't need to get out of the way, he isn't a lap car, although he's on a different strategy, he can defend for all he likes. Because, well, I don't know, excuse me, I don't know what the weather situation's like in this race, but what I do know is it's very sunny at the moment, and there's not a cloud in the sky. As can be said in the real world as well. It's been very hot today, and well, I'm certainly feeling it in my room. Shizu Ewan though, getting past Just Send It. So is BMG Hawks actually, and oh, Antoine going very wide there. On the well, that's definitely cutting the corner, and whoa, there's a bit of contact there, bit of contact again, and well, Antoine has just gone straight into the wall there. I've no idea why he did that. But we've got a full course caution now. Safety car has been deployed. All the tables have turned now here in RGL, and that was a questionable decision from Antoine to just end his race right there. Here we are then. For those of you just tuning in, we had a crash between Antoine and we'll just send it banging wheels, and Antoine going straight on into the gravel and into the wall at the final corner, bringing out this full course caution here. Ewan actually maintaining onto the lead. Hawks in second and all-rounder in third. Here we go then. I believe the safety car, yeah it is, it's going to be in this lap. So we're going to have some juicy action from here on in. Shizu Ewan then backing up the field, and he's gone now. BMG Hawks quick to react, he's on his tail. And well, he's weaving to the inside to prevent the slipstream from happening. BMG Hawks carefully managing his ERS down into turn one, missing the apex slightly, having to grab third gear for that extra rotation to get the inside line. But not many position changes on this safety car restart. We're still over half the race to go, don't forget, as Fierce Aurora on it with a massive slide on there in the middle sector, so that wouldn't have been good at all for him. Ewan just starting to bridge a little bit of a gap between himself and BMG Hawks, and well, somebody who hasn't made any positions this race yet is KJ Gamer, and well, okay, he's just hit the back of LCR Mulder there. Obviously, that was definitely unintentional, but I'm sure he didn't want to receive any damage off that if he did at all. Heading down towards turns 13 and 14 then. Right on the back of the Mercedes driver. Exiting down the Spoon corner on the run down to 130R. He'll be all over the back of the Mercedes. Will the Toro Rosso, will he manage to get past through 130R? He won't manage to get in the corner itself, but it's going to be on the outside, heading into the Casio triangle of turns 16 and 17. Will he manage to get it done? Yes, he does. Up the inside, beautiful stuff for KJ Gamer, and the next one for him will be Shizu's Shadow. LCR Mulder though hasn't finished there. He's on the outside of KJ into turn one. They're making contact though, and Sarah Rosberg is going to have up the inside of that, and he's round. Is the Renault driver, and he's been hit by, I think that was Langman there as well. Carnage in the background has been consumed, and well, not good at all. And well, Sarah Rosberg 5-second penalty for collision with Max Ashes for some reason. Obviously, quite a lot of drivers will have received damage for that, so not great at all for them. Adam Lee Skoskar managing to get up into to P12 actually, so that's quite staggering. Langman 17 though, it looks like he's got away with that without damage. Just had a little bit of revenge off the track, stuck behind just the well, a battle for P8 though. Skipping up into the front of the field. Shizu Yuan just running wide on the exit of Spoon. It's the pressure's finally starting to get to him as they run down to 130R. He's used up almost half of his ERS energy levels. Shizu Shadow on the back of his Shizu teammate Crescito. Will he manage to get the inside into the Casio triangle? Yes, he will. Beautiful move there from the Williams driver. But Crescito's managed to get a better exit as they go over the bump. Bit of a slide there for Shadow. Crescito maintaining his fourth position, but Shadow's going to have an inside line into turn one, battling side by side. We've seen this before. Will he get the inside line to turn two? Yes, he will. They're going to be side by side into the S's. Will he manage to hang it around the outside? Yes, he will. Crescito backs out. But he's gone again, and he's going to hang it around the outside. Will Crescito manage to hold on to it? Doesn't look like he will do. He's going to try and get the switch back again. Turns in for the Dunlop curve of turn 9. And it looks like that battle's been safely put to bed. I think Clara Rosberg might have got a little bit of damage there from that incident you saw just last lap. He looks to have a little bit of understeer at the moment in time. KJ Gamer though, P6, Rosberg all the inside of the hairpin into P10 to claim the final solitary point that is on offer in this race. So the battles are starting to spread out now. You can see the top 3 breaking away from the top 4 that is there. KJ involved in this second 4. Managing to close up a little bit to Shizu Crescito. Looking to get a move done in the next couple of laps. So Ewan setting the fastest lap, so obviously showing his pace here in this race. Getting a nice exit there. KJ off turn 11. On the run down towards turn 13 and 14. For the Spoon curve, Shizu Shadow starting to break a little bit of a gap to Crescito. Mentioned it quite a bit in this race. Obviously it isn't really much of a DRS track. It's Japan. But there's only one DRS zone on this circuit. Breaking down into the Casio triangle then. Just checking to see if KJ is actually starting to disconnect there, because it looked like his AI was taking over momentarily. He's got the DRS on Crescito. Not going to be too close on this occasion. The top 3 bunching up into turn 2 there. KJ going a little bit wide. That's all around looking on the back of this battle. So Rosworth there in the Renault. Possibly looking to gain a couple more positions in this race, as well, he's had a bit of an okay start. The opening half of this race, not been too great in the past couple of laps, having a bit of contact between himself and some other drivers. But Cressito's got a nice run